Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at how the Yakima RidgeBack 4-bike hanging rack works on the 2014 Toyota Prius V. So this bike rack is awesome for carrying around a lot of bikes without taking up a lot of space. I personally prefer getting a platform rack for the stability, but for the Yakima RidgeBack, you can get a 5-bike version, which is something that a platform rack cannot do. This is going to be a quick summary. If you want the full review, check out our full review right here at etrailer on our product page. So with the ability to carry around a lot of bikes, you measure from the bumper to the end of the bike rack, and you're going to see it takes up a lot of space. This is going to be 44 inches that is added to the back of your car. And the 5-bike version is going to have 5 more inches to that. So if you have a really small garage or you're trying to park into a really tight spot, that's a measurement to keep in mind. Now, what types of bikes can you carry on this rack? Well, this has a 37.5-pound weight capacity per bike. So if you have extra heavy electric bikes, please invest in a platform rack. But most of your mountain bikes and road bikes are perfectly fine with a 37.5-pound limit. Now this has zip strips, which is where the RidgeBack shines compared to some of your other hanging racks. It makes it so much faster to remove those straps. Also, you have a third point here, which is your anti-sway. And this helps reduce the sway of your bikes into each other. Once you get 5 or 4 bikes on there, you want to reduce that sway as much as you can. You can then lift the bike out so that we can take a closer look at how the bike rack works. I like the cushion on the RidgeBack. When you compare it to some of your other hanging racks, they don't have as much of a cushion that this one does. And you can see also how the zip strip that has a cushion on top as well. And then this can move back and forth to make it easier to load and unload those bikes and then secure it once they're on there. Another feature here is how tall this bike rack is. See it where it's in the upright position? You will definitely see it in your rear window. I was driving around with this and it was kind of distracting, but it did not cover my full view, so that's something worth considering. These arms also go down. You lift this lever up top, you bring this down, and now you're ready to drive around and not take up too much space. The backup camera on your Prius V is going to be offset towards the driver's side, right over there. If you need to access your hatch, this tilts away. In fact, this has a decently deep tilt, so for all that cargo space in your Prius V, you don't miss out on that. You do have to take your bikes off in order to open up the hatch though, but that's just something natural or normal for a hanging bike rack. We have an 1.25-inch shank with an included 2-inch adapter. I have a 2-inch hitch on my Prius V. I recommend that just because your opportunities are more. Even with the adapter though, you can see how we don't have much up and down movement, a little bit of up and down movement for the adapter, but our side to side movement is very diminished with the anti-rattle wedge. You turn this knob, the wedge expands and secures itself in that hitch. You do have the option to get a lock added onto here. So compared to some other hanging racks, that's pretty good. We have a lock included with the knob. So your bike rack secured, and you can use a cable lock for your bikes. All that considered, I'm a huge fan of the Yakima RidgeBack since it is more of a premium option for your hanging racks. If you still want to carry around a hanging rack because it doesn't take up that much space in your garage, in fact, you can store it inside your hatch, but you also want to be able to have a nice and secure fit without taking up too much time, that's where I would consider this bike rack. So you've got 4 or 5 people in your Prius V and you all want to go for a ride, you might want to use this to carry your bikes around. This is a look at the Yakima RidgeBack hanging style bike rack right here on our 2014 Toyota Prius V.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.